Hey guys, welcome back here. So I want to talk about the big new tip, trick, possibly cheat, however you think about it, um, that's become apparent thanks to Gavin Knowles on the Facebook forum group. So you'll notice my gold is maxed out. You currently have to have a full treasure chamber. It doesn't have to be 12 million. Whatever your treasure chamber maxes out at, you have to fill it all the way up to the max or very close to the max. So whenever you go in to fight someone, you'll see this text here, limited rewards, treasure chamber too small. So you go in, you attack the person like normal, and once you defeat the person, you'll see the really cool trick is that in the Chamber of Fortune, the new added feature, the bonus treasure chest, you can't get any more gold in those little treasure chests anymore because your treasure chamber is completely maxed out on gold, so there's nowhere to store it, so the game will not give you any gold pieces in those treasure chests. So what that means is that you're actually going to get a lot more weapons and armor and gems, bread, more often now because there's no golds to take up the treasure chests. So it's really, really cool. You'll notice that we'll most likely get 3 pieces of armor in our treasure chests. So this is a great way to build up armor and equipment, especially in the lower levels when it's fairly easy to actually fill up your treasure chamber to max. So we did this the other day on my Let's Play series with my throne room, I believe level 4. And I think the max treasure chamber there is 300,000 gold. So if you notice, it's not that big of a gold. It's a lot harder to max out your treasure chamber when you're at this stage. We're at 12 million. So this was definitely a lot of raids. And you can see I have a lot of workers that aren't working. I do have a gold shield on to protect my gold, so I didn't lose any gold while I was, building up to maximum. So we're almost here, almost at the gates. You don't have to completely destroy the opponent's base. You just have to destroy the castle gates. So even if you're fighting an opponent and you may not be able to kill all the towers, or he has towers on the sides over here, it's okay. As long as you destroy the castle gate, you'll still get the treasure chamber of fortune. You have to be updated to the newest version, the version 1.3.1, to get the chamber of fortune. If you have not updated, go to Google Play Store or the Apple Store or the Windows Store and download the app update. Most likely you have to actually download the update. You can't just kind of log in and it won't update automatically, like 9 out of 10 times. So we got a skull there. We actually will try again just for purposes sakes. So you see here we've got a sword. You can either sell it or get it, and the current sell value is 0 because you can't have any more gold. So we're going to take it and I'm going to store it in our inventory. And unfortunately, we got another skull. So we will open up and quit. And you'll notice we got 3 pieces of armor here. This helmet is actually better than my current leadership helmet on. So we'll go do that again. And you can actually store up a good amount of equipment and gear this way. All for free. And this is a great benefit because if you look in the shop down here, in the Granny shop, Granny charges, a million for a weapon, or 72 pearls for that thing over there. We'll spin this up a little bit. She charges 290 gems for this thing here, for these gloves. 800,000, 25 pearls. So Granny charges a pretty high price to get things. So we'll go in and attack someone else. You don't have to attack a necessarily strong person. You can attack a fairly weak opponent and still get the items. I am currently actually farming metals, so for me this is working out great. I just want the medals. I want to become the league champion again in the Platinum League. So I don't really care too much about the gold. This base is actually a little bit difficult, so we may not get 100% on this one. We'll have to see how things go. And I definitely spawned the wrong troops in the beginning of this fight, so that's going to be an issue, losing time on that. We actually will have to scroll. So unfortunately, I made a lot of mistakes in this battle. You'll notice he does have all his towers bunched up right here. That's pretty good for someone who's not using the heal spell. If they're not using heal spell to help them regenerate and have like a high level heal spell, this area right here will kill a lot of opponents. Or make them use, a couple scrolls. You'll notice most of the units got stuck over there. My heal scroll is actually still on the ground. It just disappeared. So the heal scroll actually helped tremendously right there. Kept all my units alive. Kept them as a big diversion. I shouldn't have to use scrolls against this base. That was just, like I said, a horrible, horrible setup. I bring out so many cannons in the beginning accidentally. I really wanted to bring out mortars. Mortars are really good for their poison splash damage they do. And they have a resistance to the piercing. So they're resistant against blasters and archers. And they do have a good chunk of life. So you see another piece of armor. You always want to get it because it's not worth anything to sell. So we got gems, and we actually went 3 for 3. So we got a very nice piece of armor right there. That one's actually better than my current HP one. You can see it's green when it's better, higher HP value. So you can see that Chamber of Fortune was definitely a very, very nice loot there. And if you don't want the armor or gear, you can eventually sell it too. Once you use some of your gems. So we'll try and go and attack that person and not actually die or use a scroll. He is a fairly strong player. As you saw, he's given me 12 trophies. And we are high in the leaderboards. We're around 3,300 right now. And that's almost all due to raiding. Because we've been raiding pretty much non-stop for the last day or so. We've generated around 15,000 medals or so right now in one day. And again, that's all to try and become the league record holder. And you want to become a league record holder because you get a lot of free gems. And then you also get a lot of opponents that want to just attack you. And they'll attack your base and they'll give you a lot of free gems that way. So again, I did mess up again, and you can see we are dying. I rushed way too quickly into his base, and we're going to die. Oh no, we lived. Very, very big mistake. So we're not going to be able to beat this base. And you can see his base is holding up fairly nicely. So unfortunately, we will not get to the Chamber of Fortune this time. You see, I didn't even get very far into his base at all this time. Very, very poorly executed raid on my part. The funny thing is, if we would have had an extra, like, 10 seconds in this fight, we could have won because we have a bunch of cannons that are now lined up, on their way to the gates. We just need about 10 seconds for them to shoot and attack the gate. So I do apologize for that. We will go back in and get some revenge. Because I do want to show off the Chamber of Fortune and some of the good items that you can get in there. You can get gold items, the legendary hero items. We've also seen some really high gem values. It's really rare, but we have seen up to, I think, 26 gems in one chest. I also saw, I believe it was 8 pearls in one chest. So those are very, very rare, but they do exist. Alright, so let's try and not mess up this time. So I'm actually going to come back and heal them. So hopefully that they stay alive. And then they can actually come and help us kill these firebolt towers over here. And it looks like they are going to be able to come and do some damage. So this is going to be more of a successful raid. We've already got a nice army of pyromancers coming with us. We do have to regenerate just some. But I can still make mistakes, like I'm forgetting to actually summon out cannons. We'll call them back. We have some cannons coming. So we're doing a good job this time. But like I said, I've still made mistakes. You want to use your hero as the tank, as the shield, to protect your ranged troops, especially your cannons, because they do have fairly low HP. They do die fairly quickly to pyromancers and archers, or arblasters, archers, and they also take a pretty significant amount of damage from mortars. So, and they also don't actually attack the units, so they'll actually walk past the units and just kind of like, hey, like, oh, I don't notice anyone right next to me shooting me and killing me. Just like in that situation, the cannon was trying to push forward, and the Arblaster targeted him. Oops. See, unfortunately, I let 1 or 2 units slip by, and they were able to take out some of the cannons back there. You'll notice, even with all the mistakes, we still have an 8-second, window there. So hopefully we can get something good out of the treasure chests to make this worthwhile. We did get 157 medals, so it's always nice. And fortunately, we don't get anything. We'll actually say, sure. And we got a purple helmet, which that's always nice. And then we got a purple armor. And we'll do that one. Nope. It's not bad at all. We got the 2 best things out of there. The 4 gems isn't that great. We spent 5 gems to actually open the chests. And then the other thing you have to remember is to make sure that you have inventory slots when you're doing this. Because if you do open up an item and you want to equip it, if your inventory is full, see 22 of 25, it will force you to actually purchase an inventory slot. So you can see I actually got this ice club in one of those treasure chests. And you can see it's a lot better than my blunt club. It's almost 20 points stronger in special, and then an additional 30 points stronger in base attack. So here's the add new slot button. So if you go in there and you don't have any slots available, it'll force you to buy a new slot for 20 gems. And it does get expensive. The next slot, I believe, is 50 gems. So you can see we're rank 161 now. We're at 3,400 trophies. So getting really, really high in the leaderboards. We'll go and actually show a easy base. Let's see. I think he has an open base. Yeah, he has a sort of open base. He's being attacked, though. We actually do get to steal 2 trophies from him. One of the nice new features is that they automatically put you back into the opponent's base that you can't attack. Whereas before, it used to take you out to the actual game screen and you have to go back in there. So you can sit here and wait for it to open up. We'll do it a couple more times and see if we're going to get in there and attack an easy base. If not, we'll go and attack a super easy base. So we'll do it one more time. Okay. So the loot for this base might actually be a little bit lower quality-wise, because you can see this is my other account. He's down to 1,000 trophies. Pretty much nothing there. And we'll see what the game actually gives us in these treasure chambers. So you notice the stats, they aren't giving anything. 0 trophies, 0 medals. So this is strictly just for the treasure chest in the chamber. But you can farm, super weak players, get treasure chests. They're supposed to scale with level and difficulty of base. I haven't noticed that they scale too much, so these items might be a little bit weaker than the ones we are currently getting. You notice we still got a purple mask, so 1900 leadership. We'll go take a look and see what our other masks have been that we have got. So the other mask, yeah, it was slightly a little bit better, 58, and this is a 09. So, slightly a little bit better, but that could also be the, randomness on the stats there. So we'll go actually and attack him again. So this will be the last raid as well. If you guys have any questions or comments about this tip, please leave them down below. Please like and share the video. Again, this is a great way to get equipment and gear for the low-level players, or anyone that buys like a special package that fills up your treasure chamber. Otherwise, it's fairly hard to fill up your treasure chamber without using a gold shield, but it's definitely worthwhile to do this. You'll get a lot of free gear. So you can see the belt there, not really worthwhile. and a sword, and another belt over there. So it's really hard to notice on the equipment the different levels of like grade of scale. It's easier in the money value. So if I raid someone that's closer to my strength in around the 3,000 area, I'll get typically 40,000 gold from them in the treasure chests. And then when I raid someone lower like that, like the Bladestorm account, I'll typically only get like 20,000 gold there. So you'll see it's a pretty big difference. I don't know if the values change that much again on the armor. It's really, really hard to tell because, common and trash armor has really low stats. And then we did get a purple helmet that was roughly, about the same, a little bit weaker than the other one, but the stats do vary so greatly on those items that it's really hard to tell. So hopefully you guys have learned some cool things about this new tip and trick. And, like I said, share, like, and comment down below. Thanks for watching.